massive polar bear protecting a human from armed poachers. Sounds unreal, right? Watch till the end. When a massive polar bear suddenly appeared before a group of armed poachers holding a tied-up reserve ranger, no one could have predicted how the encounter would end. The wild beast, known for its ferocity and unpredictability, was slowly approaching the people, and its behavior seemed strange even to experienced hunters. What happened next shocked everyone. The thermometer showed record low temperatures, and the icy wind was whipping up the snow. John was on his usual patrol through the reserve. A piercing scream cut through the Arctic silence and caught his attention. Following the sound through the snowy veil, the ranger discovered a real tragedy. In a cleverly disguised pit trap lay an exhausted polar bear cub, its fur already forming an icy crust from falling snow. Upon examining the scene, John noticed that the pit's walls were intentionally made steep and smooth, with the edges doused in water to create a treacherously slippery surface. Drops of blood on the ice revealed the cub had injured itself in desperate attempts to escape. But that wasn't all. Not far away, a female polar bear was trapped in a cruel steel net. Her paw was badly injured by the metal cables of a professionally set trap. Time was running out for the ranger. The temperature kept dropping, and the cub's condition was becoming more critical. Acting quickly and methodically, John pulled out his climbing gear and began a rescue operation. Despite his numb hands from the cold, he assembled a lifting system and, after several attempts, managed to loop a harness around the cub's body. Every movement required extreme caution. Any mistake could cost the cub its life. At that moment, the distant roar of snowmobiles echoed. The poachers were returning to check their traps. Acting even faster, John completed the cub's rescue. Discovering no serious injuries aside from hypothermia and minor cuts, he wrapped the little bear in a special thermal blanket. Amazingly, the exhausted cub did not resist, as if it understood the man was trying to help. Hiding the cub in a safe place, the ranger returned to the mother bear. The lock on the chain was a real challenge. The poachers had used a complex mechanism with triple protection against tampering. Each wrong move only tightened it further, but the bear, sensing the man's good intentions, calmed down and watched his actions closely with her intelligent dark eyes. The sound of the approaching snowmobiles grew clearer. Then, through the snow veil, 3 armed poachers appeared. Their leader, a tall man with a gray beard, immediately noticed the empty trap, and his face twisted with rage. Hiding behind the massive body of the bear, John kept working on the lock, his fingers almost instinctively finding the right mechanism. Just as one of the poachers noticed movement and raised his rifle, a sudden gust of wind lifted a curtain of snow, briefly blinding the criminals. That moment was enough. The lock finally gave way. The freed bear rose to her full, impressive height, like a sudden snow mountain come to life. The poachers froze in shock. John took advantage of the moment. Behind him came a mighty roar and frightened screams as the men scattered. Watching from a distance, the ranger saw the mother bear quickly find her cub and carry it to a safe place for the winter. The next 2 months were filled with tension for John. He noticed strange snowmobile tracks in remote areas of the reserve, routes outside normal patrol zones. Then, on one particularly freezing day, after finding fresh tracks, he began photographing the evidence, unaware he was already in the crosshairs. 4 armed men, led by the same gray-bearded poacher, were moving in quickly and ruthlessly. But then, through the soul-chilling howl of the wind, came a low growl. A huge white figure appeared out of nowhere. It was the same polar bear John had saved 2 months ago. He recognized her immediately by the scar on her paw. Taking a position between the poachers and the tied-up ranger, she radiated such menace that even the armed men began to back away slowly. Her behavior was unusual. She didn't attack, but she also didn't let them approach John. One of the criminals panicked and reached for his weapon. The bear took a threatening step forward, showing her power. Fear overcame their thirst for revenge, and the poachers fled, dropping their gear into the snow. When the last sounds of their steps faded into the blizzard, the bear turned to John. Her approach brought an involuntary shiver. This 2-meter-tall predator, weighing over half a ton, could end a human life in a single swipe. Yet her movements were surprisingly gentle. Sniffing the rope binding John's hands, she began to carefully chew through it, eventually freeing him with precise bites. Then, the bear stepped back a few paces but didn't leave. She seemed to wait for him to recover. When John stood up, stretching his numb limbs and quietly thanking his rescuer, she tilted her head as if understanding his words. In that moment, an incredible bond formed between man and beast, two beings who had saved each other in the heart of the Arctic wilderness, connected by mutual gratitude. This incredible story of mutual rescue and gratitude proves that even in the harshest corners of the planet, where ancient survival instincts rule, a surprising connection between human and wild animal is possible. It reminds us that nature can teach lessons of kindness and appreciation, making us rethink how we view its inhabitants, and how deep and unknown the feelings of those we label as just predators may truly be. If you like the video, don't forget to support us with a like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to see everything new in the world of the wild.